Nigerian government calls for intelligence sharing with United States on terrorism. 2 Kano students drown in famous dam. Hoodlums clash in Lagos set market on fire. On foreign in Kenya, flood death rises to 188 as heavy rains persist. Hello and welcome to the news update. I am Martia Umar. Thank you for joining. Now the news in detail. The Minister of State for Defense, Bello Matoali, has urged the United States government to always share with Nigeria information on impending terror attacks on the country. He said such information and intelligence the USA sends to its citizens in countries with crisis could be shared with Nigeria to fight banditry and terrorism. Matoali said this when he hosted the Assistant Secretary for Defense for African Affairs at the U.S. Department of Defense, Jennifer Zakrisky, Wednesday in Abuja. The minister sought more intelligence sharing between Nigeria and the U.S. to fight banditry and terrorism. He listed all the areas of possible collaborations to include intelligence sharing to boost the fight against insecurity. Zakrisky reaffirmed the commitment of the United States in supporting Nigeria's efforts at addressing security concerns. She said Nigeria is a key partner for the United States in Africa, and collaboration is vital in addressing shared security threats. Now, 3 people were reportedly killed when gunmen launched an attack on the Ajokpachi Udo community in Omala local government area of Kogi State. The attack on Ajokpachi Udo was said to have happened on Tuesday, barely a month after the same suspected gunman attacked the neighboring community of Agojechodo, killing over 27 people. Locals reported that the gunmen laid ambush on a group of youth in the area who were in surveillance mission and killed 3 of them in the process. The caretaker committee chairman of Omala local government Kanto, Mark Noble Peter Edibo, confirmed the Tuesday incident. He lamented the plight of his people in the hands of the herdsmen and Agatu militia in Benue and Nasarawa State, a shared boundary with his local government in Kogi State. 2 students of Audu Bako College of Agriculture, Makoda, on Wednesday drowned in Thomas Dam in Kano State while attempting to cross the dam in a boat. The Public Relations Officer, Kano State Fire Service, Aminu Abdullahi, confirmed the incident in a statement on Wednesday. He said that the victims were identified as Abubakar Sanusi and Salisu Ado. Their 3rd colleague, Ibrahim, was rescued alive and is currently receiving medical attention at Dambata General Hospital. He explained that Sanusi and Salisu were rescued unconscious and later succumbed to their injuries. The PRO emphasized that the service had commenced investigation into the cause of the incident. Many people have been injured after hoodlums clashed in Ille-Epo area of Lagos State, and it was gathered that a fight started in a market situated in the area on Wednesday night and continued till Thursday morning. Some shops were set on fire while some goods were destroyed in the process. Reports said an early intervention by the police was restricted by the Hoodlums. A fire service truck that drove into the market in the morning was also forced to reverse after being pelted with stones. And the Lagos State's Commissioner for Environment and Water Resources, Tokunbo Wahab, on Wednesday said the government discovered 86 partitioned rooms sized 10 by 10 and 12 by 10 on the Dolphin Estate Bridge, Ikoyi, on Lagos Island. Tenants are said to be paying 250,000 naira per annum for the makeshift apartment under the bridge, and Wahab shared this information via a post on X on Wednesday, along with videos. He added that the enforcement team of Lagos State Ministry of Environment and Water Resources has successfully removed all structures, including a container utilized for various illegal activities, from beneath the Dolphin Estate Bridge. And a man has been shot and killed at NNPC of Balinde, Lagos during an argument on whose turn it is to purchase fuel. There are conflicting reports as to the identity of the gunman, as some stated the suspect was a policeman, while others referred to him as a DSS operative. The gunman fled the scene immediately in a bid to escape, and the youth in the area, as an action to reciprocate the killing, burned two hillocks belonging to police or the DSS. Now, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, and celebrity barman Cubana chief priest have agreed to settle the Naira abuse charge slammed against the socialite out of court. The out-of-court settlement was made known at the resumption of proceedings on Thursday. The Federal High Court in Lagos State on Wednesday, April 17, granted Cubana chief priest 10 million Naira bail with two sureties in like sum. He was arraigned before Justice Kende Ogundare on 3 counts bordering on abuse of Naira, spraying and tampering with the nation's currency at a social event contrary to the provisions of the Central Bank Act of 2007. And following the aftermath of the gas explosion, which claimed a life in Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital, last Saturday, the federal government had said it would stop granting licenses to gas companies with no capacity to build pipelines for gas distribution. This was communicated by the Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Gas, Ille-Epo, when he visited Abeokuta for an on-the-spot assessment of Saturday's CNG explosion at Itoshi. And according to him, the development became imperative to discourage the transportation of compressed natural gas through the roads. Now, the 2024 Internal Workers' Day celebration took a different dimension as stakeholders gathered to celebrate special people who have dared the odds to lead decent lives through hard work, captured by voices to facing communication through what it calls against all odds discussions that showcase people who turn their adversity to strength by hard work and consistency. The Drift in the Workers' Day celebration is an attestation to Martin Luther King Jr.'s saying that no work is insignificant, as all labor that uplift humanity have dignity. Trust TV's Noor Samson has more.
The first batch of the docu-series is about Toyin Ogunniyi, a female carpenter in Lagos. Tragedy struck when she lost her husband to a ghastly motor accident at the age of 33 in 2019, leaving her to care for 2 young children. She later ventured into carpentry, defying all odds to become successful. She highlights the difficulty she encountered while shooting the documentary and why she produced it.
There were so many challenges. So, for example, we had to travel to go shoot the documentary. We shot the documentary in Lagos. And, Lagos traffic, for one, getting to the place to shoot the documentary. Those were some of the challenges. But we thank God. Today we're here. We've shot the documentary. And that was about a woman, a female carpenter, who is a widow. And after she lost her husband, she had to turn to carpentry because she couldn't get a white-collar job. And that is the kind of story we want to tell.
Present at the event were individuals who overcame all odds and became successful. They spoke on the importance of fighting all odds on the way to success.
I think one of the things we've been able to achieve today is to do what I think we all want to see, is to give people a reason to continue. Because against all odds means you have resistance, there are barriers, there are challenges, and currently that's what we are seeing. The economy is not where it should be. We hope it could be better, but we believe it could be better, but it cannot be better without the people. So it's important that people remain steadfast, resilient, grit, because you could still tell that story. You could learn from what is happening. You could benefit in the future from what is happening. And that's why it's so important to tell these stories.
So it's Workers' Day in Nigeria today, right? So it's all about the dignity in working and labor. And for you to work, it means you have to go against the tide. You can't just wake up on your bed and sleep and relax. You get up, dress up, show up, and be ready to hit the ground running. And that means resilience, it means energy, passion, determination, anything you can muster so you can fight against all odds. So it's a fighting spirit, really.
As a matter of fact, challenges let you know that asks you critically if you really want what you actually have. So don't feel different. Don't feel weird that you are going through challenges. It's part of life. Don't let anyone laugh at you, because without it, you won't have a story to tell.
Fighting against odds, indeed, serves as a formidable test of people's resilience and the very core of their character. Noel Samson, Trust TV News, Abuja.
You're still watching the news update. Coming up shortly, we'll take a look at the evolution of salary packages for workers over the years. Details of this report and more after this short break. Do join us again. You're welcome back. You're still watching the news update on Trust Television. Let's take a look at some of our major stories again. We told you earlier that Nigerian government calls for intelligence sharing with United States on terrorism. And 2 Kano students drown in famous dam. Moving on, the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board has urged Nigerians to be wary of any candidate parading printed results slips, as currently the result is not in any paper format. JAMB spokesperson Fabian Benjamin, in a statement on Wednesday, said the information became necessary as some individuals were already circulating printed result slips on social media. Benjamin said, unlike last year, the results at the moment are not and cannot be found on the JAMB's website. JAMB on Monday announced the release of the 2024 UTME results. The registrar, Professor Ishako Loyede, said the results of 64,624 out of the 1.9 million that sat for the examination were withheld by the board and would be subjected to investigation. Now, still talking about May Day, during the celebration, a comparative analysis of the Nigerian minimum wage reveals that in the year 2000, when the minimum wage was around 5,500, an average Nigerian worker earned approximately $49. And now fast forward to the present economic challenges, and the average Nigerian worker now receives less than $25. In the spirit of the 2024 International Workers' Day, Trust TV's Ibrahim Ismail takes a look at the history of minimum wage reviews from the year 2000 to the present day. His report.
According to Nigeria's Minimum Wage Act, there should be a minimum wage review every 5 years. In 2000, the minimum wage was 5,500 naira, equivalent to $49 at the time. During President Olusegun Obasanjo's administration, between 2007 and 2010, it was raised to 7,500 naira, roughly $67. In 2011, under former President Goodluck Jonathan, the minimum wage increased to 18,000 naira, about $117 then. In 2019, former President Muhammadu Buhari approved a new minimum wage of 30,000 naira, approximately $88, when the exchange rate was 360 naira per dollar. Presently, the 30,000 naira minimum wage is equivalent to $21. On April 30th, 2024, the federal government approved a salary increase of 25% to 35% for civil servants on the remaining 6 consolidated salary structures. This translates to a 75,000 naira increase for workers. The federal government has increased the minimum wage 4 times in 24 years since 2000. Although the Minimum Wage Act mandates a review every 5 years. Despite these pay rises, food commodity prices have surged by 35% according to the latest data from the National Bureau of Statistics, meaning that civil servants' salaries essentially remain unchanged in real terms.
And the Nigerian Deposit Insurance Corporation has increased the maximum deposit insurance coverage levels for deposit money banks from 500,000 naira to 5 million naira for deposit money banks with immediate effect. The managing director of NDIC, Bello Hassan, made the disclosure on Thursday in Abuja. And according to him, for deposit money banks, the increase of the maximum deposit insurance coverage from 500,000 naira to 5 million naira will provide full coverage of 98% of the total depositors compared with the current cover of 89.20%. In terms of the value of a deposit covered, the revised coverage would increase the value of deposits covered by deposit insurance to 25.37% compared with the current cover of 6.31% of total value of deposits. Away from Nigeria now, at least 179 people, among them 15 children, have been killed in devastating flooding triggered by heavy rains in Kenya. The new death toll was announced Wednesday by the government spokesman. Isaac Ora said that the month of April marked the peak of the ongoing March to April and May long rains, except for the coastal region where the rains are expected to peak in the month of May. The heavy rains and flooding have displaced 195,000 people, prompting the government to accommodate flood survivors in schools or establish displacement camps. And the death toll from a highway collapse in southern China's Guangdong province has risen to 36. A report said heavy rains caused a stretch of road running from Mizzou City towards Dabo City to cave in at around 2:10 a.m. on Wednesday. Vehicles careened into the nearly 18-meter-long gash in the tarmac and plummeted down the steep slope below. Guangdong, a densely populated industrial powerhouse, has been hit by a string of disasters attributed to extreme weather events in recent weeks. The storms have been much heavier than expected this time of the year and have been linked to climate change. China is the biggest emitter of greenhouse gases that contribute to climate change, but has pledged to reduce emission to net zero by 2060. And now let's talk sports. Super Eagles star Calvin Bassey has been nominated for Fulham Player of the Month for February. The 24-year-old played every minute of Fulham's 5 games in April, the only centre-back to do so. Bassey played a starring role in the 2-0 win over West Ham as the Cottagers finished the month of April with 1 win, 2 defeats and 2 draws. Bassey is nominated alongside 3 of his teammates, Andreas Pereira, João Pofina and Rodrigo Muniz. The Nigerian has scored 1 goal across 29 appearances this season. Now, Borussia Dortmund Niklas Füllkrug has fired in a first-half goal to seal a 1-0 victory over visitors Paris Saint-Germain in their Champions League semi-final first leg on Wednesday. Nico Schlotterbeck floated a pass into the Füllkrug's path, and the Germany forward controlled the ball with a perfect first-half forward, ending Kylian Mbappe largely neutralized. And that brings us to the end of the news update at this hour. For more, you can follow us across all of our social media platforms. I am Martia Umar. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned.